It might have been 4 or 4:30 in the afternoon. The agitation among the numerous people gathered in the colonnaded courtyard of the estate spiked suddenly. Martha and Mary rushed toward the atrium and disappeared among the groups of men and women that were practically blocking the main entrance. My heart raced. From outside, a murmur of voices, shouts, and greetings could be heard. Without knowing why, I felt fear. I stepped back a few paces, hiding myself behind one of the columns on the right wing of the courtyard. My palms had begun to sweat. Within a few minutes, the servants, friends, and relatives of Lazarus began to part ways, and a sizable group of men burst into the courtyard. Amidst laughter, kisses, and multicolored cloaks, my eyes were suddenly riveted on an individual who towered well above the rest. That had to be Jesus. His extraordinary height, something over 5 feet 11 inches, turned him, next to almost everyone gathered there, into a giant. He wore a burgundy-colored mantle girding his chest, with the ends wrapped around his neck and falling over broad, powerful shoulders. A long white tunic with ample sleeves covered him almost down to his ankles. The giant walked slowly toward the center of the patio. His right arm rested on Lazarus's shoulder. Around him, Martha and Mary were gesturing and clapping amidst the general jubilation. His hair, straight and of a slightly caramel hue, fell over his shoulders. Shortly after, when he untied the cloth band rolled around his forehead, I verified that he parted his hair in the middle. He sported a mustache and a fine beard, parted in two, of an old gold color, similar to his hair. The mustache, though pronounced, did not manage to hide his lips, which were relatively thin. The nose disconcerted me. It was long and slightly prominent. From the moment he entered the house, Jesus had not stopped smiling, revealing white, flawless teeth, very distinct from what most Hebrews suffered from. Men, women, and children swirled around him. The sunbeams then struck his face, and I was left awestruck. The contrast with those hardened faces, seeded with wrinkles and aged, of his friends and followers was simply admirable. Timidly, I began to peek out from behind the pilaster. Jesus, little more than 4 or 5 meters away, suddenly lifted his face and pierced me with his gaze. A kind of fire ran through my insides. To everyone's surprise, the rabbi stood up, making his way through the people who had begun to sit on the red bricks of the pavement. My knees began to tremble, but escape was no longer possible. That giant was right in front of me. I shall never forget that gaze. The Galilean's eyes, slightly slanted and of a vivid honey color, possessed a singular virtue. They seemed to concentrate all the force of the cosmos. More than observing, he passed right through you. Long, thick eyelashes gave him a special allure. The forehead, clear and broad, ended in straight eyebrows, set sufficiently apart. He did not blink. His face, peaceful and warmly illuminated by the sun, instilled a strange respect. He raised his arms and, placing long, hairy hands upon my shoulders, he smiled at the same time, winking an eye at me. An unexpected heat flooded me from head to toe. I tried to respond to his gesture, but I could not. I was confused, stunned, moved.
Be welcome.
Those words, spoken in Greek, finally disarmed me. There was such security and affection in his voice that I needed a long time to react. The rabbi returned to the cistern while his friends watched him in total silence. Some of the disciples finally broke the silence and asked the resurrected one who I was. The young man, with undoubted satisfaction, explained to them that I was his guest to meet Jesus. I remained motionless as if petrified, trying to order my thoughts. It cannot be, I repeated to myself again and again. It is impossible for him to have guessed. How can he? No matter how many times I turned it over, I always arrived at the same crossroads. If no one had spoken to him about me, why would they? How could he know who I was and why I was there? In the courtyard, there were 100 people. Many he knew, that was clear, but others he did not. This was my case, and nevertheless, he had walked right up to me. Never, not even now as I write these memories, was I certain. But only a being with a special power could have acted this way.